chapter is the living organisms, characteristics and habitats, correct? So yesterday we were learning here about some of the habitats. We had learned about terrestrial habitats and aquatic habitat, and here in the aquatic habitat, we had already discussed about the ponds and lakes. And the last paragraph of the ponds and lakes about the frogs, the details and the interesting characteristics of the frogs is left. Correct? If I'm not wrong, then yes, Rabia.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can you please start reading?
Yes. Frogs usually live in ponds. Frogs can stay both inside the water as well as move on land. They have strong back legs that help them in leaping and catching their prey. They have webbed feet which help them swim in water. We have discussed only a few common animals and plants compared to the wide variety that live in different habitats. You may have also noticed the very wide variety in plants around you when you prepared a herbarium as part of the suggested activities in Chapter 7. Imagine the kind of variety that you could see in a herbarium of leaves of plants from all regions of the earth.
Okay, so now here is the adaptation of frog is explained that we know very well because we have learned it in fifth standard also. That usually frogs found in the ponds. Okay, they are known as amphibian. They live inside the water as well as on the land. So they have webbed feet. We know very well with help of their legs. Okay, strong back legs. They can leap means they can jump and easily catch their prey. They just move from one place to the other place by leaping. And the same way, the web feet which they have, okay, with help of them, they can easily swim inside the water. Whenever they are in the water, they use their those webbed feet and swim easily. And whenever they are on land, okay, with help of those strong back legs, they just leap from one place to the other place. So these are also these features of the frogs are important characteristics of the animal which can be found in the lakes and ponds. Understand, beta? Are you
Yes,
listening,
ma'am.
girls? Okay. The same way, see in the last paragraph, what is written here? That in earlier chapter, we had learned that in chapter number 7, we had learned about the trees and plants. So in that trees and plants, there was an activity that if possible, then we can prepare a herbarium also. What is means by herbarium? We can make a diary, we can make a project, okay, or otherwise in a file, we can write details of the different plants. See, now we know very well there might be some common features we can found in all organism, but the fact is that they then also they all are different from each other. So there is a wide variety we can found in the not only in the animals but also in the plants also. Correct, beta? So now can you imagine how wide variety we can found on the earth? See, it's in different region. If such kind of variety we can found it, then just imagine that there might be lots of different kinds of animals, insects, birds and plants are there on the earth. Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay, now very easy topic, characteristics of organism, characteristics of living organism. Okay, now just now here when I was explaining this paragraph, I have told you that all living organisms have some common features. We found them. Yes, because of those features, because of those characteristics, we can say that they all are living organisms. So which are they? Can anyone say? Which are those common features on the basis of them we can say that they are living organism?
ma'am. Can I try?
Yes.
Ma'am, mostly, not mostly, everyone breathes. They have
Yes, very nice. Yes,
some other organs to breathe, like fish
yes.
have gills.
Hmm. But
So
everybody breathe.
breathing is
Yes, correct. Yes,
common. Yes,
yes. And for that we use that one word, respiration. Breathing is also known as respiration. Okay, respiration process is common in all living organism. Then all living organisms show growth.
yes,
Okay, they all show growth. Then they all are capable to reproduce the same kind of new organism.
yes,
Okay, they all are able to move from one place to the other place.
yes,
Okay, do they respond to stimuli? Respond to stimuli means, see, we are human being, we have emotions. Okay, we laugh, we cry. Even you may have seen it in the eyes of the some animals also, that sometimes we felt that they are crying. For example, dog, for example, cow, you may have observed it. Yes.
yes,
Okay, so they also feel such kind of pain and all such emotions. So they also respond to stimuli. Even you may have seen that some kind of trees and plants, if we touch them, they just fold themselves. Okay, so that is also one type of respond to stimuli means, whatever changes occurs or happens around us, we respond to them. That thing is known as what? That thing is known as response to stimuli. So it is also common in all living organism. So these are some of these all such things are known as characteristics of living organisms. So let's learn about them. Beta, can you please start reading?
yes. Characteristics of organisms. We went on a journey through different habitats and discussed many plants and animals. In Activity 1, we listed objects, plants, and animals found in different surroundings. Suppose we stop a while and think which example in our list are living. Let us think of examples from a forest: trees, creepers, small and big animals, birds, snakes, insects, rocks, soil, water, air, dry leaves, dead animals, mushrooms, and more. Maybe only some of the objects that are present in the forest. Which of these are living? Think of objects that you can see around you at this moment and group them as living and non living. In some cases, it is easy for us to know. We know that objects like chair or table are living. I was reading this line from Complete Nonsense, written by Edward Lear.
There is a poet who has written this particular type of lines, or we can say a poem. Okay, so according to the writer of this textbook, he thought that it's only this particular lines are complete nonsense, because see, poet, you yourself is also a poet have their own imagination, correct? So but here the
Yes,
poet has written something different from the non-living thing. So that's why the writer of this textbook thought that it's a complete nonsense. Okay, because the poet compare non-living things with the thievings means, you will read it and you can understand that why he said that it's complete nonsense. Let's read it.
yes. Said the table to the chair, you can hardly be aware how I suffer from the heat and from chill blains on my feet. If we took a little walk, we might have a little talk. Pray, let us take the air, said the table to the chair. Said the chair to the table, now you know we are not able. How foolishly you talk when you know we cannot walk. Said the table with a sigh, it can do no harm to try. I have as many legs as you. Why can't we walk on two?
Okay, so now can you see anything, what happens in this poem? Means the chair can walk, table can walk. It can feel heat. It can talk. Is it possible?
No.
Is it
No.
possible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then also such kind of things poet said to the chair and table. Yes, girls, are you
Yes.
listening? Okay, so that's why the writer of the this lesson, okay, said that it's a complete nonsense because he thought that he may be a scientist or he may be related to the science topic. So he thought that how one can say all such things to the non-living things, correct? But according to the poet, okay, see, poet has the imagination. That's why poet has written such things. But the person who is related to science thought that it is not possible. So it's a complete nonsense. Okay, nothing else we have to learn here. It just we just do not get bored. That's why such things is given in between this topic. Now here, see, characteristics of organism. In the beginning, it is here is a question that which of these are living. Means all the different names of the trees and plants and insects and animals are given. So there's a question: how do we can say that they all are living? Okay, they ask us a question and now they themselves will give answer. Continue reading, beta.
Yes, ma'am. So Haley and Bujo found the poem very funny because they knew that a chair or a table is not alive and it cannot talk or walk. Chair, table, stone, or a coin are not alive. Similarly, we do know that we are alive and so are all the people of the world. We also see animals around us that are so full of life: dogs, cats, monkeys, squirrels, insects, and many others. How do we know that something is living? Often it is not easy to decide. We are told plants are living, but they do not move like a dog or a pigeon. On the other hand, a car or a bus can move. Still, we consider them as non living. Plants and animals appear to grow in size with time, but then at times the sky also seems to grow in size. Does it mean that clouds are living? No. So, how does one distinguish between living and non living things? Do living things have some common characteristics that make them very different from the non living? You are a wonderful example of a living being. What characteristics do you have which make you different from a non living thing? List a few of these characteristics in your notebook. Look at your list and mark those characteristics that you have listed, which may also be found in animals or plants. Some of these characteristics are perhaps common to all living things.
Okay. Now, see, as I have told you that they are asking us a question that how can we get to know that all these different names, okay, which they give here in the beginning of this topic, how can we say that they all are living? Then they give us this poem that though chair and table, all such things, we know very well that they all are non-living. Then the question is that the here a very interesting question is there. See, we know that trees and plants cannot move from that place, okay, from one place to the other place, just like the cat and dog. Then how can we say that they are living? Is any answer? Anyone can give answer? At the same time, cars and other vehicles can move, means they can go from one place to the other place. Then why we are not saying them they are living? Is there any answer, or can I explain? Okay, anyways, listen now. Yes, definitely trees and plants are not able to locomote. Okay, locomotion is not present there. It's not possible in the case of trees and plants. See, locomotion means we our own self can go from one place to the other place. That thing is known as locomotion. Movement means what? We move. Move means we move our hand, we move our leg is different, and locomotion means we can go from one place to the other place. So it is not that only one characteristics is not there in the trees and plants, but all other points of the living organisms they possess, means they have. For example, they also eat food, means they prepare their own food and then they eat it. Yes, they prepare their food by photosynthesis. Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay, they also show growth from the seeds. They uh,
yes,
they gradually grow and convert themselves in the form of plant and tree. Yes, so they show growth. The same
yes,
way, if we take the seed of that particular tree or a stem or otherwise flower, fruit, and once again if we plant it, then we can get the same kind of another tree and plant. Yes, so they reproduce also. Then the same, how do we respire? Means we required oxygen. The same way they also required it. They also respirate. Are you getting understood? So these are the common
yes.
things which we can see and which we can found inside the trees and plants. So what? If only one point it does not possess, then now comes back to the cars. Yes, they can move. Okay, just like the other living organism. But do they respirate? Respiration is possible in them. They require oxygen
No,
to live? No. Do they reproduce? They reproduce. They are capable of reproducing the same
no.
kind of other organism. Okay. Then what can I say? Yes, definitely they are moving, but do they move by their own? Or if a human being drive it, then only it can be moved.
Human beings drive it.
Yes, so they does not possess the all other characteristics like living organism. That's why this thing is different from the living organism. That's why we can say that they are non-living. Understand? So these things are explained in the beginning of this topic. Now let's start learning one by one all the characteristics of living organisms. See, we know that all living organisms require food. Yes, if he wants to live, if all other living organism wants to live, what do they require? They required food. So can you please read, beta?
Do all organisms need food? In chapter 1 and 2, we learned that all living things need food and how essential it is to animals and to us. We have also learned that plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Animals depend on plants or other animals for their food. Food gives organisms the energy needed for them to grow. Organisms also need energy for other life processes that go on inside them.
Okay, so here is the thing that if we are talking about animals, insects, birds, even trees and plants, human being, they all, okay, for living life, or they all needs, they all required what? Food for the growth, for to live. Okay, they required food. Thus, the same way, second interesting characteristics is, continue, beta.
Young ones of do all organisms show growth? Does the kurta you had 4 years back still fit you? You cannot wear it anymore, isn't it? You must have grown taller during these years. You may not realize it, but you are growing all the time, and in few more years you will become an adult. Young ones of animals also grow into adults. You would surely have you would surely have noticed pups grow into adults. A chick hatched from an egg grows into a hen or a cock. plants also grow. Look, look around you and see a few plants of a particular type. Some are very small and young, some are bigger. They may all be in different stages of growth. Look at the plants after a few days and weeks. You may find that some of them have grown in size. Growth, growth seems to be common to all living things. Do you think non-living things show growth?
Yes, no, non-living things cannot show any growth. Okay, if we have a chair around us, it will remain as it is if it is there for the so many years. Okay, yes, there might be a possibility that it may broken, but it will not show any kind of growth. But if we talk about all the young ones, either they are animals, if human being, okay, see, look at here, the different stages of the human beings growth are shown. Or if we talk about plants, they all show growth, we know this very well. Okay, from the young one, they will be became adult, definitely they became adult. Yes, different examples are given here about the human being, about the young one of dog, about the young one of this hand. Okay, they all show growth and they became adult one day. Understand, beta? Girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
please continue, please.
Yes.
Do all organisms respire? Can we live without breathing? When we inhale, the air moves from outside to inside of our body. When we breathe out, the air moves from inside our body to outside. Breathing is part of a process called respiration. In respiration, some of the oxygen of the air we breathe in is used by the body. We breathe out carbon dioxide produced in this process. The process of breathing in animals like cows, buffaloes, dogs, or cats is similar to humans. Observe any one of these animals while they are resting and notice the movement of their abdomen. This slow movement indicates that they are breathing. Respiration is necessary for all living organisms. It is through respiration that the body finally obtains energy from the food it takes. Some animals may have different mechanisms for the exchange of gases, which is a part of the respiration process. For example, earthworms breathe through their skin. Fish, we have learned, have gills for using oxygen dissolved in water. The gills absorb oxygen from the air dissolved in water. Do plants also respire? Exchange of gases is in plants mainly takes place through leaves. The leaves take in air through tiny pores in them and use the oxygen. They give out carbon dioxide to the air. We learned that in sunlight, plants use carbon dioxide to produce food and give out oxygen. The amount of oxygen released in the process of food preparation by plants is much more than the oxygen they use in respiration. Respiration in plants takes place day and night.
Okay, now the next point and the next characteristics of living organism is respiration. Okay, we know that all living organism respire. Okay, they required oxygen to live. We as a human being, we also require oxygen to live. Even you may have seen cat, dog, cow. Okay, whenever they are sleeping, you just observe their abdomen. At that time, we can observe them properly because they are very calm at that time. Even you may have seen the small infant when they are sleeping. Okay, how nice they look, and at the same time the respiration process also we can observe, we can feel their abdomen to continuously move. So through this we can say that they all are breathing. Okay, and they all required oxygen to live. Yes, definitely, they have different adaptations to breathe. Means at the as the beginning you have told, Rabia has told that how a fish requires gills for the respiration. The same way, if we talk about the cockroach, they breathe through their spiracles. The same way, if we talk about the earthworm, they breathe through their moist skin. Whether they breathe through the gills, whether they breathe through the nose, whether they breathe through the skin, but they all breathe, means they all required oxygen. The same way, we thought that trees and plants does not require oxygen, but they also require. See, yes, the carbon dioxide which we take out in the process of respiration, they take it. They also use the sunlight, they also use the water, and they prepare their food. But this process happens during the daytime. At the night, they also require oxygen. Yes, definitely the amount of oxygen which they release, okay, they required very less amount of, but then also they required it. Okay, it's not the thing that they does not require the oxygen, they also need oxygen to live. So in an all living organisms, okay, they possess this characteristics also, that they respire, means the respiration is one of the important characteristics of all living organism. Got it, beta? Girls, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next point is, do all organisms respond to stimuli? Continue, beta.
Yes, ma'am. Do all organisms respond to stimuli? How do you respond if you suddenly step on a sharp object like a thorn while walking barefoot?
Okay,
How do you
barefoot
feel
means without wearing
when you
anything in the foot. Yes, continue.
okay? How do you feel when you see or think about your favorite food? You suddenly move from a dark place into bright sunlight. What happens? Your eyes shut themselves automatically for a moment till they adjust to the charged bright surroundings. Your favorite food, bright light, and a tone in the above situation are some examples of change in your surroundings. All of us respond immediately to such changes. Changes in our surroundings takes that makes us respond to them are called stimuli. Do other animals also respond to stimuli? Observe the behavior of animals. When food is served to them, do you find them suddenly becoming active on seeing the food? When you move towards a bird, what does it do? Wild animals run away when bright light is flashed towards them. Similarly, cockroaches begin to move to their hiding places if the light in the kitchen is switched on at night. Can you give some more examples of responses of animals to stimuli? Do plants also respond to stimuli? Flowers of some plants bloom only at night. In some plants, flowers close after sunset. In some plants, like mimosa, commonly known as touch-me-not, leaves close or fold when someone touches them. These are some examples of responses of plants towards changes in their surroundings.
Yes, now it's very good point. Response to stimuli. This is interesting characteristics of a living organism. See, if we by mistake put our leg on the sharp thorn or any sharp object, what happens? We feel pain. Correct? If a very uh, what I said, if a food item which we like a lot, okay, if served in front of us, how do we react? We became so happy. Okay, the same way, if if dust particles or the light immediately falls on our eyes, what happens? If bright sunlight or the dust particles start coming in our eyes, what happens? We quickly immediately close our eyes. The same way in the case of the animals also, how do they feel when we show them the any food item? They become happy and they come towards us. Yes, you may have seen that the pet animals, whenever they see Whenever if we go out for a few days and afterwards we come back, they became so happy. They just started jumping and they just start moving their tail. Have you ever observed and have you ever seen it? Are you listening, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
same way
Yes, ma'am.
if we show a stick to the cow or any other animal, they just move away from that place. They just run away from that place. The same way
No.
you may have noticed that, okay, whenever we enter at the night in the kitchen, if cockroaches are there and if you on the switch, they'll just start moving from that place. The same way, if birds are eating something and they felt that human being are coming nearer to us, they just fly away. Okay, why such kind of behavior? We can found that if they are moving, if they are running from that place, okay, they may have fear of us. And those who are showing that they are happy if they see the food and comes towards us, means they are happy that they get the food item. The same way, if we are taking back our leg, if we close our eyes, means we may feel pain. So immediately we respond all such changes. This all are changes which occurs and happens immediately and we respond towards them. So whenever such kind of changes takes place around us and we respond towards them, this thing is known as respond to stimuli. Okay, and this is one of the common feature of all living organism. If you do the same thing with the car, with the animal, with the chair, if this happens, you show, okay, wherever right now you are sitting on the chair, on the sofa, or on the bed, you just show the food item to it. It will be happy. If you scratch anything on them, okay, do they start crying? If you show the stick to them, do they move away? If you switch on the light, okay, then also they start moving from their place. Is it possible in that their case? No, because they all are non-living. They all are non-living, correct? Who can show the response to stimuli? All living organism. You thought that it all such things is possible in the case of animal, but what about the plants? Plants also respond to stimuli. See, some of the plants only bloom at night, whereas some of them can just they just close themselves. Means they just fold themselves if we touch them. Okay, so in that way they also respond to stimuli. Are you getting understood, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Read bit activity number 4.
Yes, ma'am. Activity number 4. Place a potted plant in a room a little away from a window through which sunlight enters sometime during the day. Continue watering the plant for a few days. Does the plant grow upright like plants out in the open? Note the direction in which it bends. If it is not growing upright, do you think this may be in response to some stimuli? All living things respond to changes around them.
Okay, now please see properly this plant. Okay, this plant is bending towards, it show growth towards the sunlight. Can you see this in this picture? They are not growing upright. Okay, but in which direction they bend a little bit? In the direction of the sunlight. Can you see this? Because from that
Yes,
particular side onwards they are getting the sunlight, so they show growth in that particular direction instead of started growing upright. So they are responding to that stimuli, means they require the sunlight, so they show growth in that particular direction. So it is also one of the example of what? It is also one of the example of respond to stimuli. And we have lots of example for the animals, insects, human being, birds. Okay, but we have few examples of the plants. That's why this particular activity is given here. Okay, so through this we can get to know that plants also respond to stimuli. Got it, beta? Okay. Living organism and excretion. All living organism excrete. Okay, continue please.
yes, ma'am. Living organisms and excretion. All organisms need food. Not all the food that is eaten is completely used. Only a part of it is utilized by the body. What happens to the rest? This has to be removed from the body as waste. Our body produces some waste in other life processes also. The process of getting rid of wastes by organisms is known as excretion. Do plants also excrete? They do, but not as seen in animals. The mechanisms in plants are a little different. Some plants find it possible to store the waste products within their parts in a way that they do not harm the plant as a whole. Some plants remove waste products as secretions.
Secretions. Accretion.
Secretions.
Secretions. How excretion word is used for the other animal, the same way secretion word is used for the plants. Continue, please.
Excretion is another characteristic common to all organisms.
Yes. See, excretion, you know very well. Okay, the waste should definitely comes out of our body. Otherwise, also we may fall in if it comes not out. You just think about if in a corner or in a dustbin, we just start throwing the waste, and if we do not uh, do not and afterwards if we do not remove, or if we do not throw that dust at the other places, okay, if we do not remove it from that places, what happens? If we store it in a corner of our house, what will happen? Are you listening, girls? Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
So what
Yes,
will
ma'am.
happen if we do not throw it out and it just remains as it is at that only one place?
Bad smell will
Ma'am,
come.
Yes,
it will
yes,
stink.
it will start stinking. Okay, mosquitoes and all such things comes at that place. So it is good for our health.
No,
Mosquitoes and flies comes upon them, and they all will spread the different types of diseases. So do it good for our health?
no,
So how there should be a requirement to removal of that waste from our house, the same way the removal of waste from our body should also be required. Okay, and that thing is possible through this process of excretion. How is it? Okay, that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, beta? Got it,
okay,
girls?
Okay, ma'am.
yes,
Okay, so please remember this, that we have to learn this point, living organism and excretion. Till the time, have a nice day, children.